I don't always understand Ruby. She doesn't go, she could just simply suck the nipple, but she doesn't want to. She wants to play with it first. And I don't quite get that. Baby, it's right here. Just take it. And no, she doesn't want to do it that way. She has her own way of doing things, y'all. And she likes to play with the nipple before she'll actually suck it. Sweetie, it's right here. You don't have to do all that mess. What she really wants to do is beat on me a little bit. She wants to be rough. Here, there you go. This little goat is jumping on our pillows. She's having the best time right now. I still have all of the couch and furniture rearranged from yesterday's chiropractor visit. What do you think you're doing? You cannot get on the couch. You're a goat. And goats do not jump on couches. You can jump on Millie or jump on the pillow, so that's fine. If you guys don't know this, goats don't really have much control of their little bladders or anything else for that matter. And so you got to be real careful with goats. Babe, you have to come look at her. Starla's being so cute. She's being a goat, a three-legged goat. Well, 3.5 legs. Look at the little goat baby. She loves having fun. She loves having fun. This can't be easy on her the slip. See, she did the splits.
Drought, and that's how she ends up standing upright.
Oh my gosh, love, you sweet girl. You're a sweet girl. And Daddy's on the couch. You cannot have the couch. No, you cannot. No, me and Stella are on the couch, and Stella's conked out. She ain't moving. Neither am I.
She wants up there.
You can hang out on the floor. Trixie, can she get on your couch with you? Trixie's saying, hell no. Hey folks, Lester here, hanging out with a sleepy Mr. Hank. And he's so darn sleepy because he has a couple of kittens who keep him awake all night long. I'm sorry to say something, Mr. Hank, because I know you love him so much, but all of that changes today. You heard me right. Today we're going to be moving some kittens over to the other property, and they're going to be living in the barn dominium. This is kind of a sad day for me. I know it's also a sad day for Mr. Hank, but for all of the, I don't want to call it drama, but for all of the moments these kittens put us through, for as skittish and scared as they are around us, I have to catch them and we're moving them to the other property. You guys join us. It's going to be sad, but it's also going to be a good move for the kittens. It's going to be good for Mr. Hank. It's going to be good for Jamie and I. And so, y'all join us. I know you can't get used to this look of mine yet. It'll be a while before you ever get used to this, and that's fine. And I don't even know exactly what I'm going to do with it. But guys, I want to talk to you about making moves for the animal's best interest and putting our own selfish needs behind what animals need. I guess the most recent example would be moving Sadie over here to Longhorn Lester's. I don't understand why people have to make it out to be either a failure on the human part instead of a win for the animals. And that just means that you haven't quite grasped. I don't mean you as in a collective you, but there are some folks that don't understand the animal's best interest has to always come before the human best interest. And then I'm going to show you an example of how I'm also very guilty of that. Let me turn my camera around and we're going to talk about a couple of things, okay? And then just try to be patient as I try to figure my way out through this. This is tough to talk about, but it's so darn relevant in the drought that we're going through. I'm going to turn my camera around now. I sit here every single day and I watch for the entire day texts, and Santiana and their beautiful calf Charlene, they lay there. They don't get up, and if they do, it's only to walk to the water trough for a drink, and they make their way back to that same shady spot under that tree. And they have not moved from that spot in, I would say, close to a month. You don't get to see Tex play with his barrel. He has no interest in doing anything else than just laying there. Friends, I know it sounds cruel, and it sounds harsh, and it sounds any other words that you want to put synonymous with what I just said. But Tex is doing what he knows he has to do for he and his family to survive the rest of this summer, or especially this drought. You see, there's absolutely no grass to graze on. What you see out there is dry. I think you get the picture. There's nothing to eat. So, as a survival mechanism, he's learned through years and years of his DNA code to set and conserve his energy. And in this case, he'll have to wait until the food comes to him. It would be foolish of him to get up and to walk around looking for food when in fact he knows there's nothing. And so what Jamie and I do are our part as the human to provide them with their minerals, provide them with their supplements, and provide them with their dewormers, provide them with their salts, and then of course provide them with a food source twice a day, enough to keep their bellies full. But I'm going to tell you something. Tex deserves better than this. He does. He deserves better than this. We talk about longhorn lusters like it's some kind of this amazing heaven. And there have been moments, guys, there are moments that can take your breath away. But then there's been moments like this. We saw this same thing happen last summer. We're on, I think, day 76 with no rain here. And we have absolutely nothing to offer him as far as grazing pasture land. Nothing. We've made efforts in trying to clear property. We spent more money on having it hydro-seeded. I've worked tirelessly at trying to irrigate, pumping from my pond until my pond is run dry. And now there's just no more water. And so will the seed ever come up? I don't know. But ultimately, at some point, Luster's going to have to make a very tough decision. And that decision comes down to what is in his best interest. Because sitting right there, day after day after day, is not. And it's very unbecoming of me. And this is me swallowing much pride in saying this. But it's very unbecoming of me just to leave him there. So guys, listen to me. I am looking at all of my options. I'm trying to take all of the 136 animals, especially the large animals, into consideration. I'm trying to consider the fact that we have Billy in one pasture. We have Moses in another pasture. We have Santoro with his offspring in a third pasture. We have Santoro in a fourth pasture. And at this point, I'm just trying to find a pasture to accommodate him until this darn drought is over, until we get grass. We have the horses and the donkeys behind me. We've decided to dry lot them. Very tough decision to take them off the pastures and put them into a dry lot where there is literally nothing to graze on. We do provide them with good, clean horse hay. We give them grains in the afternoons. We give them clean, fresh water from water troughs. But we know that the horses out in the large pasture are not quite under the same mindset as the cows. And these horses walking around the pasture like that, would put themselves at great risk for respiratory infections if we did not dry lot them. Let them know there's nothing to graze on, so that you're wasting your time walking around sniffing at the dirt. Our goats are fine. Our big birds are fine. Dogs and cats obviously are okay. But sometimes decisions have to be made that might not be the most popular with the folks who enjoy your channel, but the decisions that have to be made for the betterment of the whole, and so that this farm can continue on. And that's always hard to talk about. It's always hard to do. But that's what they sometimes say, until you've walked a mile in my shoes. So, anywho, today we're talking about Mr. Hank, which is, it's not near the same severity. Hello. Hello, you sweet, pretty girl. I know. You ready for a baba? You ready for a baba? Let me go make you one. We're moving a couple of kittens out of our bedroom. Now, these are the kittens that we found behind our wall. We took a lot of time and effort in catching, or let's just say the truth, capturing these kittens. And we've done our best to give them a place to live inside the bedroom with Mr. Hank. And they've done very well there. They've gotten their first round of vaccinations. They can't be neutered until they're close to 6 months old. They're not near that age yet. So what we're going to do now is move them to our barn dominium at I'm a Survivor. We do have a minor rodent issue. Can y'all see her playing behind me? We do have a minor rodent issue at I'm a Survivor because the house is not being moved in. And the best way to prevent rodents is to have movement. So we're going to move the kittens over there. And what we like about that is they'll stay in a climate-controlled environment. They won't have to be hot or cold or fight for survival, you know, amongst the predators and other things. And they'll stay together. And then what I also like about that is hopefully over time we can get them to continue to calm themselves and eventually be cats we can actually love on. Jamie has talked about it before. We do get the kittens to come to the bed at night while we're nice and still and asleep. But as soon as we begin to stir, the cats usually jump up and run. That brings us to this guy, Rocky. Old Rocky. Want to talk about you, Rocky? Can we talk about you? He is a fighter. Our friend Dutch, Sean at Keeping It Dutch, brought Rocky over all the way from Oklahoma, hoping that we could provide Rocky a better life for him. We don't really have a setup here at Longhorn Lester's for a rooster. But we do have this thing that a sponsorship with the omelet. You guys have already seen that video where we have had a couple of chickens. We took them back to I'm a Survivor because of the heat. I just felt like it was a lot of work. I'll be honest, it was a lot of work for me to come out and continually move this omelet around to, searching for shade. Then, of course, we lost all of our grass. We have no grass to eat on now, so that means that we got to provide more nutrition in the form of corns and grains, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. But you're saying, Lester, that's the saddest thing for that rooster to be done by himself. That's just a sad existence, Lester. And so what we're going to do is bring a couple of females back for Rocky. I do not want to take Rocky to I'm a Survivor because he's a fighting rooster. And if you don't know what that means, it means that oh, Jamie wants me to feed. She's ready for me to feed up. All right, babe, I got it. Rocky is a fighter, my friends. And what I'm afraid he would do at I'm a Survivor is end up killing our other male bird babies, such as Nate. And we don't want to, put that on to Nate or Cornholio or anybody else. So I told Dutch I'd be more than happy to keep him. I never asked for him. Don't get it twisted. I never asked for him. Dutch, that was part of Sean's thing. Just bring a rooster along with him. And so we did offer him a home. And so we will give him a home. And I'll bring a couple of hens. Now, I will say this before you start freaking out. I understand that you're saying, that's not big enough, Lester. Well, you're right. If that was stationary and stayed in the exact same spot, it's not big enough. But the omelet is made to be moved around. And so it will move day by day by day and multiple times throughout the day. He will have a couple of hens so he can have a normal life. And it's made for 3 or 4 chickens. So guys, we don't have to worry about them not being enough space. Chickens, free-range chickens, are very different compared to cooped chickens. And when you have a stationary coop that doesn't move stationary, then yes, it needs to be larger. But if you have a mobile coop that can be moved from space to space to space, it doesn't need to be as large. The chickens will actually use the space they're provided. So today, or for the next few hours, it may be right here in the shade. But as the sun begins to move across the sky, it may become over here, or maybe over here. So ultimately, Rocky and his female friends will move around the tree here or around the shade as needed. And they will be fine. It's a lot of work on us. But, it's also going to reap its benefits in the fact that the hens will lay eggs. Eggs we eat. Rocky will have a couple of companions. And all will be fine. It's 100 degrees out here, sweetie. Why would you be lying in the sun in 100 degrees? Not sure about that. You also might ask, how in the world can a little calf eat when it's so darn hot? That's even a better question, because right now, the last thing I want to do is sit down in the heat to eat. Come here, sweetie. Now, I love the fact that this little girl has gotten so big that you don't have to always go inside there with her to feed her. She can actually come to the fence and eat like a big girl. Let me go a little bit lower. Here, love. I need to be right here in this spot. Here, sweetie. You gonna eat or not, love? Y'all give me a few minutes. I don't always understand Ruby. She doesn't go, she could just simply suck the nipple, but she doesn't want to. She wants to play with it first. And I don't quite get that. Baby, it's right here. Just take it. And no, she doesn't want to do it that way. She has her own way of doing things, y'all. And she likes to play with the nipple before she'll actually suck it. Sweetie, it's right here. You don't have to do all that mess. What she really wants to do is beat on me a little bit. She wants to be rough. Here, there you go. Usually after she beats me up good, then she'll finally begin to gentle down and suck the nipple. But it takes a little work. And so once again, here Lester thought he was going to work smarter, not harder. But because his little sweet girl wants to make life difficult, he has to, well, you do what your babies need. Hi, guys. Hi, sweetie. Hi, my baby girl, Shirley Bird. You gonna eat this or not? Shirley, you're snorting. Shirley, you're snorting. Shirley. People are gonna think that's me. Shirley, people are going to think that's me making that snorting noise, and it's not. Shirley, you're not gonna drink the bottle. I do love you, Shirley Bird. You're a sweet girl. I do. I love you so much. But right now we're here for Ruby. Oh, Lord, did y'all just hear that? I don't like chickens. I don't like roosters. Can y'all hear that? Finally. We finally got Ruby going. Thank you, Shirley. You're a great help, sweetie. You're a great help. I guess what I want you to ultimately understand is that a lot of decisions that we have to make are not as easy as what it may seem from the outside looking in. But in fact, what you see in a video is 10 minutes of a very long 24-hour day. And so there are things that we see and things that we observe that we have to think about and talk about when it comes to the animal's best interest. And in saying so, sometimes our decisions aren't always the most popular when it comes to the social media opinion. But that's where trust comes in. You just have to trust that the fact that we've been doing this for a very long time. We were doing this long before we ever made your acquaintance. And we'll be doing this long after you find other channels that are more interesting, creators who are more attractive, more entertaining. And this is what we do. I like to think that the fact that we're genuine and the fact of bringing you the good, the bad, and the ugly is a whole lot of what made us as successful as we are in social media. But I also am real enough to know that not everyone can handle the truth. A lot of folks like to see farm life as a Disney movie. And in Disney movies, there's no such thing as parasites. There's no such thing as predators. There's no such thing as drought. And Mother Nature doesn't always play really cruel and unusual tricks on you. But we're certainly no Disney movie. We are as real as it gets. I joke and I say this is not some two-man costume we have going on right here. This is a real baby. And these are real animals. And we are real humans who have fears and worries and stress and finances and all the things that go on with you, health issues. Yeah, we're as real as it gets, trust me. How about that? That's it. Ouch! That hurt. See, the thing is, she's not finished yet. I do love you, but you have to stay inside your pasture where you're safe, which is another harsh reality. She sure did love her first week or two of life, where she could live in the yard and be a grass puppy. But now we're back to reality. Now we need Mr. Lenny to step up and do his job and protect you when I'm not here. We need Carl to do his job and keep you safe. And ultimately, you know you are a cow. You're not a little girl. You're not a human little girl. Even though she is as adorable as any little girl I've ever seen. I do love you, sweetie. I love you so darn much. All right, well, I'm off to gather up a couple of kittens. It's going to be sad for Mr. Hank because he has enjoyed being Uncle Hank. He's done a fantastic job at helping to nature and nurture these kittens. But now they are ready to go on to their forever home. And we hope that you'll enjoy the continuation of their journey with us. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you on tomorrow's video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.